distinguished members of the council and residents of Kocaeli, and dear members of our Kocaeli organization, ladies and gentlemen and dear youth, and my colleagues at this cause, I would like to greet you with my deepest regards and with my most heartfelt emotions. And as I begin my remarks, I would like to congratulate Azerbaijan, who is fighting to liberate its cities and its Nagorno-Karabakh region from Armenian occupation. I would like to congratulate their victory in Shusha. For 30 years, the Minsk group has almost deceived and ignored, and for 30 years at the negotiation table, the future, the fate of the issue was uncertain. Our Azeri-Turkish brothers and sisters, after a long period of patience, said that those who wait patiently reach victory, and they have indeed reached victory. Turkey, since the beginning, has been supporting the cause of its Azeri-Turkish brothers and sisters for 30 years in their struggle to liberate their land, which was under occupation. It was together with its brothers and sisters under any condition. The conflicts started after Armenia's actions, and they have started liberating their cities one by one and Karabakh to its freedom. And their joy is also our joy. The liberation of Shusha means the remainder of the occupied lands will also be freed in the near future. And once again, starting with my brother Ilham Aliyev and all my Azerbaijani brothers and sisters, I'd like to congratulate all of them on behalf of myself, my family, and my nation. Dear brothers and sisters, after a break of almost 3 months, I'm sharing the pleasure of being once again with you and being able to embrace you once again. I love this city and its people as well. Today, on this occasion, we visit Başiskele, Çayırova, Derince, Darıca, Dilovası, Gebze, Gölcük, İzmit, Kandıra, Karamürsel, Kartepe, and Körfez. Today, we send our greetings to these districts from here. At every period, There have been those who tried to take these lands away from us and to eradicate our nation from Anatolia. Kocaeli has always fought against the Crusaders who had these goals. Kocaeli is a beautiful city which has supported Orhan Gazi or the veteran Süleyman Pasha, or which carried forward the cause of Akçakoca. It is the place of conquerors, and it is a Kocaeli which is praised by stars in the sky, or it is praised by the seas. Even though it has suffered a lot, even though it has suffered major destruction or earthquake at every occasion, it was reborn from its ashes, and it has never lost its perseverance to survive. It's a very brave city with a big dream, a big cause. And I cordially greet this important city. Kocaeli has been fighting against the coup plotters, the tutelage, the terror, and fighting against the plans that they make, the traps that they set for our country. Kocaeli has always backed us. For 19 years, in the struggle to develop our country, to increase exports, production, and manufacturing, Kocaeli was always with us. It was always backing us. For 19 years, we have established bonds of love with our nation, and Kocaeli has always embraced us positively. And Turkey is currently at the crossroads again, and we expect the biggest support from Kocaeli once again. Our nation is working for the building of our 2023 Turkey and 2051 vision. Our nation has given this duty to AK Party once again.
Gençler, sadece bu yıl yaptığımız 1 milyon yeni üye,
we have gained 1 million new members only within this year, which is a significant proof. AK Party has reached 11.2 million members, which makes it the largest party which was supported in the broadest way by our nation. From the chairman to neighborhood representative, all members of AK Party levels maintain our strong bond with our nation, because the founder, the owner, or the carrier of AK Party is our nation itself. Without the nation, there would be no AK Party. For that reason, everyone who takes duties at different levels of AK Party has to be together with the nation 24 hours a day, because whoever breaks his link with the nation or builds walls between, or whoever imagines himself to be unattainable, unreachable, or whoever finds itself in disruption or arrogance, that means that person no longer has a place in this party. No title, no busy schedule, is an excuse to disappoint our nation, to break the hearts of our nation, or to stand at a distance to our nation. For that reason, since the day we were founded, everyone who has served at our party or taken up posts at different levels of our organization, in all of our cities and in the entirety of our country, we have to reach all of our citizens. The change in our organization is not the reason to exclude, but rather a method to embrace our people even further. The branches which are going dry will be clipped off to make the tree stronger, and such a tree should expand its leaves to every corner of our country, with the main organization, with the women's and youth branches, and with the deputies of cities, with the mayors, and every brother and sister who has lent their heart to our party. We have to be at the service of our nation, because we come not to rule this nation but to serve. The mission of our party is to be active in every one of our provinces, in 81 provinces, and with 83 million citizens, to bring our country closer to its goals, to win hearts one by one each day, and to work day and night towards this mission.
Gençler, şunu unutmayın. AK Parti güçlendikçe,
Please keep in mind, as AK Party draws more strength, Turkey becomes even more powerful. As AK Party gains, Turkey gains further. And as AK Party works hard and builds, constructs and serves the nation and produces new works, the more our nation gains. In political, economic, military and social terms, AK Party strengthens Turkey even further, which increases the hope in the eyes of our friends. We should always be proud to be members of such a cause and to dedicate our time and energy to such a cause, and it should be the biggest of happinesses to see the victory of such a cause. As a person myself, I can sacrifice my life whenever needed, and for almost half a century I have been dedicated to this holy cause, and I have known no higher level or no higher position or honor than this dedication. Not as the chairman or mayor or prime minister or the president. None of them were higher than being a regular member of this important cause. And with the same logic, I expect you to further our cause, to strengthen always your bond with our nation. AK Party, the 7th regular Congress and the Kocaeli Provincial Ordinary Congress should be an occasion where we remember once again this important commitment and to once again bring it to life. Since our party was founded at different levels of our organization, all of our brothers and sisters who took up different posts, we're grateful to them, and our colleagues who have passed away, we wish God's grace on their souls. And our colleagues who work in district congresses or who take new posts in today's provincial congress, I wish them success. My brothers and sisters, during our many governments, Turkey has made the biggest leap of its history. We have made more services and new projects than the sum of the rest of our history, from the east to west and from north to south. In all of our cities, we have brought services to our nation in all provinces. And this point is very important. In the past 18 years, do you know how much we have invested in this city of Kocaeli? 30 quadrillions. And by today's figures, 18 billion have been invested into this city. No political party in their history have such high figures of investment. In education, for instance, we have built 11,000 new classrooms. We have opened the second university, the Gebze Technical University, in this province. We have built 14,000 bed capacity dormitories for our university students. We're also still constructing another dormitory with a capacity of 950, which is hopefully going to be completed by next year. In addition to all of these services in Izmit, Gebze and Kandıra, we have made plans to build dormitory buildings with a capacity of 3,800 in total. In Kocaeli, in the past 18 years, we have built 37 new sports facilities. One of the most beautiful stadiums of our country has been built in this city. For 3 seasons, the stadium has been active, and the official inauguration, it was already active, but the official inauguration is going to be carried out today. For our city, we have projects for 9 new national gardens. The Gebze-Eskisar Garden and Darıca gardens initial phases have been completed and have been opened, and the remaining 7 parks are now being planned. For our citizens in need in Kocaeli, we have allocated in old figures 2 quadrillions, and in today's figures 2 billion Turkish liras. And I ask Mr. Kemal, does he know of any of these? This country is a strong country who never abandons the people, the citizens in need. In health, we have built 84 new health facilities, including 17 hospitals. The total bed capacity is 1,180 at the Kocaeli State Hospital, and the Gölcük State Hospital has a capacity of 250 beds, and 9 total health institutions are currently being constructed. In Kocaeli, through TOKİ, we have carried out a project of 20,000 new apartments. In transport, we have added 190 kilometers to the divided roads of the city, increasing the total figure to 340 kilometers. The Istanbul-İzmir Highway and the Osman Gazi bridges have been built near Kocaeli. The North Marmara Highway goes by Kocaeli with connections and the main road and the conjunctions. It is most parts of it have been completed, and step by step they have been opened for traffic. The Kurtköy-Akyazı section is going to be completed by the end of this year, and one of the most important transport projects of our country, the North Marmara Highway, will be entirely finished and entirely in service. The İzmit-Kandıra-Kaynarca Highway is going to be partially open for traffic by next year. The conjunction,
yeni Başiskele Köprülü Kavşağı'nı tamamladı.
two conjunction points have been completed already, and the remaining sections of the highway will be completed by the end of this year.
Bölünmüş yolu da tamamladık.
And the divided road around the urban hospital has been completed as well.
Seneye
The bridges are going to be completed next year, and some connecting roads and junctions will be completed the year after that. Kocaeli has also become a high-speed rail line station. When our high-speed projects are complete, Kocaeli is going to connect from the west to the east and from north to south. Kocaeli is going to connect to many important city centers, and these are what this city deserves. It's a city of industry and economy, and it deserves the most modern logistics centers of our country. The first phase has been opened for business, and the second phase of this logistics center is now being prepared. The Gebze-Halkalı rail line is also being completed to link Gebze to Istanbul, to European side of Istanbul actually, going under the Bosphorus. The Gebze-Sabiha Gökçen Yavuz Sultan Selim Bridge, with these facilities and with the high-speed rail line between Halkalı and the new airport, continue, and we won't pause, and we continue on our journey. For our city, another significant project is the Gebze Organized Industrial Zone and the Darıca Coastline subway line. The Gebze-Darıca subway line is around 15 kilometers, and it's a two-way system. It has 12 stations and one storage facility. We have started the construction of this line, which is going to link to Marmaray and to Sabiha Gökçen subway line. Our goal is to make this line active by 2023. The city hospital tram line and the beach line trams have started. The industrial facilities will be connected to the port with a new line. 2 dams and 3 ponds have been built in Kocaeli, and we're building an additional one. And with these facilities that we built, 27,000 hectares of land have been opened to irrigation. 5 irrigation facilities will irrigate 48,000 hectares of additional farming land. The farmers of Kocaeli have received 380 million Turkish liras in agricultural aid. In the past 18 years, we have built 6 new organized zones, 5 technoparks, 127 R&D centers, and 18 design centers. Kocaeli city and its districts, all of them have now received natural gas. There is no district left which does not have access to natural gas, and hopefully in near future we're going to bring new services and new investment to this city. The Izmir earthquake has taught all of us an important lesson and showed us the fact of natural disasters that our country faces from time to time. Kocaeli has suffered the 1999 earthquake, and it's quite aware of the destruction and the suffering that an earthquake causes. For that reason, on this occasion, I would like to once again wish God's grace for the 114 citizens that we lost. And we wish a healthy recovery to the injured. Some are still in the hospital, some of them being in an intense situation, and most have been discharged. After the earthquake, the state has rushed to the support of Izmir citizens with all ministries and agencies, and hopefully within a year we'll complete our works in the city of Izmir, and we will build new apartments for the victims of the earthquake. In addition to rushing to the aid in the region, we have also brought in teams and equipment from different corners of the country to Izmir. In addition, Red Crescent and many other organizations and NGOs have immediately extended a helping hand to the victims of the earthquake. Our citizens whose homes and offices have been destroyed or damaged during the earthquake, or our citizens whose property have been damaged have received every kind of aid. Buildings which have been destructed or severely damaged, they have received 30,000 liras of in-cash aid if they are unable to save their property from damaged buildings. Tenants and landlords are receiving in-cash help as well. In some damaged buildings, landlords and tenants are receiving 5,000 and 2,500 lira aid. Also, shop owners are receiving 2,500 lira rent aid. And people whose homes have been flooded and shop owners whose shops have been damaged are going to receive grants up to 50,000 Turkish liras. The shop owners, if their offices have been damaged, their loan payment to Halkbank will be postponed by a year. Warm dishes, cleaning material, tents, and other needs of the victims have been met. So far, 520,000 meals have been distributed in Izmir, and 200,000 additional drinks and other treats have been distributed to victims. In line with psychosocial support, 32,000 children and adults have been taken into direct consultation. Dormitories and guest houses have been turned into temporary shelters for victims of the earthquake. There is no need for additional tents or additional homes or settlements in the city. So far, 1,302 container cities of 1,300 containers each are being built, which will be complete in 2 weeks and will be open to the use of the victims. In the regions of the tents, health clinics have been established in order to offer every kind of health service, including emergency response. Some furniture producers are also extending 25 million liras in furniture aid to homes. There are hundreds of thousands of buildings whose current situation has been assessed. If buildings are severely damaged, There are 4,000 severely damaged buildings. After the assessment of damages, which will be completed by Tuesday, buildings with no or little damage, our citizens who live in such apartments will be able to go back to their buildings. TOKİ is going to replace buildings which have been destroyed or which are severely damaged. TOKİ is going to start the construction of new apartments for these victims. Our purpose is to build solid and low-rise, comfortable buildings in which people can live comfortably, and before the anniversary of the earthquake to make them available for our brothers and sisters in Izmir. We also expect understanding and cooperation from our citizens. The cost of living in a secure building is not comparable to any financial cost. Hopefully, the construction of the earthquake apartments will begin in a few weeks after certain studies are complete. In the first phase, 5,000 apartments will be built. 2,000 of them will be built in place and 3,000 will be next to the Izmir City Hospital in a reserve area of 1 million square meters. 40 to 50% of the cost will be deducted and they will be available at an 18-year pay to people who have the right to get them, with the initial 2 years being no payment period. I wish once again God's blessings on their souls and condolences to their families. On this occasion, this is a shared suffering, the earthquake, but still there are those who try to use this as an opportunity to attack me. And I'd like to say the following to them. Our nation has not forgotten the oppression of the single-party regime or the suffering of the coalition years, the earthquake and other natural disasters. After every time we suffered from a disaster, we used to suffer for many years that followed the natural disaster. In Marmara or in Erzincan, after earthquakes, we always saw the similar, very upsetting picture. We have either witnessed this personally or heard about it from our elders. When things were going well in the rest of the world, they have always caused crises in our country, and we haven't forgotten the cost of these. In their own areas, for instance, Izmir earthquake was also the earthquake which crushed the CHP under the rubble. For instance, in the majority of Izmir, and including the metropolitan area, for decades, CHP has been at the municipality, at the administration of the municipality. And when it comes to the construction of solid buildings, why have they not taken any action? Or why did you allow these weak buildings or extend licenses to them? Or why did you allow construction on non-solid ground, on agricultural land, on watery land? So how come do you try to blame the ruling party? You are the one in charge in all of these areas, and you're the reason for the results of the natural disaster. The president promotes low-rise buildings, low-rise construction everywhere, but you did the opposite. You carried out high-rise construction, and you tried to block every step that the government tried to take. As the people were suffering under the rubble, rather than extending a hand, they did nothing. The deputy of Izmir, for instance, you came to the city, and how long did you stay there? You only looked around like a tourist and you immediately went back to Ankara. And on top of everything, you turned to us to blame us once again. And this is nothing but hypocrisy or
Milletimiz
lack
adına bunlara
of
diyoruz ki
morals.
gölge etmeyin.
And we
Başka
only
ihsan
ask them not to
istemeyiz.
block us, and we don't ask for
Milletimiz
anything
adına bunlara
else.
diyoruz ki
On behalf
ya
of
hayır
our nation,
konuşun
we say
ya da
either
susun.
talk positively or at
Milletimiz
least
adına bunlara
keep your
diyoruz ki
silence.
siz
And on behalf
en
of
iyi
our
bildiğiniz
nation, we
iş
ask
olan
them to do
parti içi
what they know
kavgayla
best,
uğraşın.
just conflict within the
Hamdolsun
political party.
Türkiye'de
But
hem
thankfully,
afet öncesi hazırlık
both
hem afet
preparation
sonrası
before a
yardım ve
natural
destek
disaster
çalışmaları
and
konusunda
aid and support
yapılacakları
after a
gece
natural
gündüz
disaster,
düşünen,
all of
proje
these are being
üreten,
planned
inşa
and
eden,
considered
gayret gösteren
and
bir hükümet var.
constructed by the government.
Bingöl'de deprem oldu.
When an earthquake
Gece
happened
yarısı
in
biz
Bingöl,
oradayız.
we were there by midnight.
Simav'da deprem oldu.
Or an earthquake happened
Gece
in
yarısı
Simap
oradayız.
and we were there by
Van
midnight.
depreminde
Or when
gece
an
yarısı
earthquake
biz
happened in
oradayız.
Van, we arrived there
Malatya'da,
by midnight.
Erzincan'da,
In Malatya,
Elazığ'da deprem
Erzincan,
oldu.
Elazığ, every
Biz
time an earthquake happened, we were
Şimdi
there
aynı
immediately.
şekilde
And now,
yine
in the
deprem
same
oldu.
way, when an
Biz oradayız.
earthquake took place, we were there
Anında
immediately, right
10
away.
günü bulmadan enkaz kaldırma
And in less
çalışmalarına
than 10
hamdolsun
days, we have cleared the rubble.
acısına derman olamadığınız milletle dalga geçmek
You
size
are
bir şey
unable to
kazandırmaz.
produce
Sadece insanların
solutions to the
kendilerinden
problems
daha
of the
çok
nation,
nefret
but
eder.
you only insult
Biz
the
bugüne
nation, which
kadar
only makes them hate you
şehirlerimizin önemli bir
even more.
kısmını
So
adeta
far,
baştan
in
inşa
majority
ederek
of our cities, we have
ülkemizin
almost
depreme
entirely
hazırlık
rebuilt them,
çalışmalarında önemli
and
bir
we
yere
have
kat
made
ettik.
progress in the earthquake
Depremin bizi
preparation
beklemeyeceğini,
activities of our
zamanın
country.
dar olduğu,
We know that the
bundan sonra
earthquake would
çok
not
daha hızlı
wait for
hareket
us,
etmemiz
and we're
gerektiğini
running out of
biliyoruz.
time, so we have to
İnşallah
act rapidly.
önümüzdeki 5
So
yıl içinde
hopefully, in the next
riskli
5
bölgelerde
years,
acilen
we
dönüştürülmesi
will
gereken
start immediate
1,5 milyon
conversion
konutu
efforts in
yeniden
risky
inşa ederek
areas. We
bu
will build
hususlarda
1.5
tarihi bir dekor
million
atacağız.
new apartments and
Kardeşlerim,
make new record in this area.
bu duygularla
And with such
bir kez
thoughts,
daha ilk
once again,
kongremizde görev
I'd like
üstlenecek
to congratulate
kardeşlerime şimdiden başarılar
our
diliyorum.
colleagues, our new colleagues. I
Sizlere
wish them success,
sevgilerimi,
and I send my
saygılarımı
love
sunuyorum.
and my regards to all of
Unutmayın,
you, and please keep in mind,
tek millet,
we're a single nation,
tek bayrak,
a single flag,
tek vatan,
a single homeland,
tek devlet.
and a single state.
Bir olacağız,
We have to be one,
biri olacağız,
we have to be big,
kardeş olacağız.
we have to be brothers
Hep
and sisters,
beraber
and all together,
İnşallah
hopefully,
2023'e
we will
hazırlanacağız.
march towards
Kalın sağlıcakla.
2023.
AK Parti Genel Başkanı, Cumhurbaşkanımız Sayın Recep Tayyip Erdoğan'a konuşmaları için çok teşekkür ediyor ve zat devletlerini bir müddet sahnede misafir ediyoruz. Sayın Cumhurbaşkanımız, değerli konuklar, şimdi hediyelerini takdim etmek üzere İl Başkanlığı adına İl Başkan Vekilimiz Sayın Şahin Talus'u sahneye davet ediyoruz. Buyurunuz lütfen. Başkanım bir saniye.